Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Victory Lap of Lothric. We have a few more bits and pieces we need to tidy up before we can finally say our fond farewell to good old Gank Shitty. Oh, Gank Shitty, we love you and we hate you at the same time. Right, so we got a few things we need to do. We had a couple of very PvP heavy episodes, so I think... Well, we'll still complete Sentinels just in case, because we've got to go get the Dark Moon Blades, so we'll stick on that. So maybe we will get some... do some blue ball in action. Tell you what, before we start, actually, there's something I've just found out about this curved sword. I don't know if it applies to all the heavy curved swords, but if you charge the second R2, you will get a different attack animation than if you do just two standard R2s. So here's just two R2s not charged. You just get those two swipes. However, if you one R2 and then you charge the second one, you get a little spin. I thought that was quite neat. I've never seen that before. But again, maybe that's well known. I've just, I've never used the curved swords that much. Okay, so first off, we can go about Gank Shitty. We're sort of unmolested by invaders. So we've got a few bits and pieces we need to do. Let's go and get Yorshka's spear first. Right, never mind you, silly deacons. Oh, fuck. Trying to be flash and roll through that. And since we got all those human dregs from doing those Pontiff invasions, we can hand them in at Archdeacon McDonnell. We can level up as an Aldrich Faithful. Right, okay, let's go get our stuff. Right, Mr. Mimic, you are hiding an important piece of treasure. Beware of mimicry, therefore beating to a pulp required ahead. I think you're right. None of that, thank you. Right, so this mimic is holding within its belly the golden ritual spear. I think another one of the weapons that you rarely see in PvP, mostly because it's not very good. It's much like the cleric's candlestick. On paper, it's a really good idea, you know. The cleric's candlestick is straight sword, which is also a sorcery catalyst. It's really bad at being both of them, so it sort of doesn't. No one ever uses it. I mean, like I said, and this one is exactly the same. It's a sorcery catalyst that's also a spear, and those are very good concepts on paper, but because they're really bad at being both, no one really goes for them. Ritual spear presented to Dark Moon Knights before Sullivan claimed the title of Pontiff. Can also be used as a staff. Sorcerers cast using this weapon channel the wielder's faith. So this one scales with faith. You need 18 intelligence to use this staff, but then it scales entirely with faith. So I guess if you were doing maybe sort of a dark build, or like a chaos build, where you're going to be investing a little bit into faith, both faith and intelligence, maybe you could skew your stat investment to intelligence, to faith, to get the best damage out of it. But I mean, it's got a really shitty spell buff, like spell buff of 60, and I think I don't really count this on me, but like even the regular sorcerer staff has a spell buff of 100, so you'll get pretty mediocre damage out of its melee attack, and you'll get pretty shitty spell damage. So it's almost not really worth it. But I think it's the staff that Gwendolyn uses actually. Obviously, when the remaster comes out, I'll be able to go back and check. But you can see these statues are holding what I believe to be the golden ritual spear there down the hall. Actually, let's equip that. Let's just see what that looks like. Maybe when we get further on in the game and we have more stats to play with, I'll alright. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is something that Gwendolyn uses. It's quite a long spear as it goes. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the stuff that Gwendolyn uses. Right, let's get that shortcut open. Let's go get that crystal wizard. So I hope you enjoyed the Gank City episodes. Both me playing with Amish and doing my Aldrich invasions. I'll tell you what, although I'm not completely turned around on the idea of Pontiff being a crap area to invade, I was very surprised about you know, how much it has changed. Obviously, like the community slowed down a lot, and a lot of the tryhard ganker community has moved on to, you know, greener pastures. You know, but it's still a bit of a shit area to invade. It's very flat and it's very open, at least the first half of it, and it really does favour gankers and co-opers, because like there's very, up until you get to Silver Knights, there's very little PvE backup. Sorry, Mr. Batman. But yeah, it was alright doing those invasions. I didn't feel like I wanted to cry and destroy my controller, question my entire faith in humanity. Get fucked, son. So these deacons who have come from Deacons of the Deep, from the Cathedral of the Deep, you can see up their skirts. Let's see if we'll be able to get close to one of them without them firing shit at me. They've got sort of like tendrils, and yeah, you can kind of see it there. Like tree-like roots or branches or tendrils or something emerging from underneath their deacon skirts. Very similar to what Pontiff Sullivan had. You'll see it coming out of the eyes of Archdeacon MacDonald once we go down and give in those human dregs. And it seems to be these are sort of symptoms of the deep, or how the deep is corrupting them. And you can, actually you can see it coming out of their eyes as well, of these chaps. So these guys are using the Cleric's Candlestick, and it's very odd. They're casting fire sorceries at us, and the Cleric's Candlestick doesn't allow us to do that because it's, you know, used to cast sorcery. So we do know that, you know, sorcery, miracles, and pyromancy sort of all used to be one and the same, really. And they sort of, after the Lords found the first flame and found their souls, sort of those three separate schools of magic kind of diverged, and we got the sorcery, faith, and pyromancy classes. Right. So yeah, maybe that's what that represents. Right. Don't need to kill the giants. Let's go and give in that stuff to Archdeacon MacDonald. Right. Okay. Right. Now we're here. Let's read the covenant item that we got. The holy symbol of the Cathedral of the Deep, the crest of those who see beyond fire to the age of deep waters, equipped to pledge oneself to the Aldrich Faithful Covenant. The faithful ensure that Aldrich, devourer of gods, remains undisturbed by taking the form of loyal spirits, hunting down those who would trespass the ruined cathedral. Summoning takes place automatically while this is equipped, so nothing really new there. Just tells us what the Aldrich Faithful Covenant are about. So, Archdeacon MacDonald. Is he dead? Very probably. Has he succumbed to the deep and died? Or has he ascended, transcended the age of fire, and has now entered the age of the deep? You can see all that stuff coming out of his eyes. He's got the Cleric's Candlestick there. He's a big, bloated mass of arse. Maybe he's been eating people as well. Interesting, I've never really taken note of these sort of reliefs and these carvings. What are they of? I wonder if that's Gwendolyn. No, it can't be Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn had snakes for legs. Very interesting architecture. Anyway, we got our human dregs. Proof of a duty fulfilled by the Aldrich Faithful, who patiently await the Devourer of God's return. Dregs are the heaviest things that within the human body, and will sink to the lowest depths imaginable, where they become the shackles that bind this world. So it's very odd, sort of the nature of the human dregs and what they represent and what they are within the existing lore of the game. I mean, sort of the deep, you can assume, is humanity related and dark related. You know, given that, you know, deep weapons do dark damage, and, you know, deep spell, like, you know, the deep spells do dark damage as well. So obviously it's related to that sort of area of the lore. But is it like, because humanity were warm sprites, weren't they? They were fragments of the Dark Soul, and it's sort of, I'm not sure how this relates into that. Right, let's give this guy some shit. Give this guy some shit. 30 human dregs will be enough, I think. I killed a lot of fools. So we get Great Deep Soul and the Archdeacon's Great Staff for our rewards. So we've maxed out our allegiance to this covenant now. So see you later, McDonald. Let's read our shit then. So we got Great Deep Soul. Sorcery which improves upon Deep Soul, fires powerful darkened soul dregs. We'll get Deep Soul once we give the Deep Tome to bugger. What's his name? What's her name? I can never remember her name. The Dark Teacher, who teaches all the dark sorceries, miracles, and pyromancies. Archdeacon MacDonald, a sorcerer himself, delighted in the cathedral's stagnating souls. For him, they represented the glorious bedrock of this world. That's interesting. So he was a sorcerer. He was a cleric, an archdeacon, but he proclaimed himself a sorcerer. He was a sorcerer, which is a piece of law that we already know that they used their faith to channel sorcery, which was a big no-no. You don't want to do that. That angers the gods very much, since they were very anti-sorcery. So delighted in the cathedral's stagnating souls. So obviously, stagnation is an important part of the deep. I think that draws heavily from real-world influences of Shintoism, and stagnation is considered something very profane and horrible in that religion and that belief system. So, yeah, for him they represented the glorious bedrock of the world, which is the soul dregs. The soul dregs sink down to the lowest possible depths imaginable, and they form the bedrock of the world. Oh, that's how they see the world. That's how they see it. And we got the Archdeacon Great Stuff. So this is the one that Matey Boy was using in the Deacons of the Deep fight, I believe. Large staff bestowed upon archdeacons at the Cathedral of the Deep. The Archdeacon MacDonald's trespass, the sin of channeling faith for sorcery, transformed what was once merely a symbol of ecclesiastic authority into a catalyst of sorceries. So there we go. We said there, he considered himself a sorcerer, and that was, his great trespass. It was something he was a naughty boy for doing that. Right, let's have a look at the staff, actually. Oh, shit. I fucking hate. Yes, I know I can't wield the staff. Just let me equip it. Right. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? I don't think anyone uses it. Again, it's one of those things that, because it's got that weird thing where you have to, all your damage gets scaled off of faith rather than intelligence. It's sort of, why would you ever do that? Like, why would you make an intelligence build, like, with no intelligence in it? Because then you can't use the spells that you want. I suppose, you could make quite an interesting build with that. Like, you could have maybe sort of quick-firing soul arrow spells that don't require a lot of investment into intelligence, and then you dump everything into faith, and you could have access to the really good healing miracles and stuff. That's pretty good. Not a bad idea, actually. I suppose it can't cast both, can it? No, sure, no. It's just a catalyst for sorcery. So yeah, that's Archdeacon MacDonald. Right, yeah. So actually, now that I remember when we were in Cathedral of the Deep, we got a lot of good, juicy lore tidbits on the archdeacons, and now we know. So there was Archdeacon Klimt, there was Archdeacon MacDonald, Archdeacon Royce. And I think that was it. Maybe there was a fourth one. So there was the stuff in Rosaria's fingers. The sacred seal of Archdeacon Klimt, who served Rosaria, Mother of Rebirth, equipped to pledge oneself to Rosaria's fingers covenant. Rosaria's fingers collect tongues and then her name. Blah 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 blah. So Archdeacon Klimt, who served Rosaria, Mother of Rebirth. So Klimt is also mentioned in the Saint Biden's spear. Except in this time he is Saint Klimt. Formerly wielded by Saint Klimt, he discovered that the weapon draws upon one's faith on the day that he put his own faith behind him. He discarded this weapon that draws on one's faith on the day he put his own faith behind him. So Archdeacon Klimt, or Saint Klimt, followed Rosaria and served Rosaria, and we get also, I think it's the Archdeacon, in the Archdeacon skirt. One of the Archdeacons of the Deep, one attended to Rosaria, Mother of Rebirth, whom he deemed a goddess. So, Klimt, Archdeacon Klimt. That, That is who is being referenced, I believe, in this skirt. And someone mentioned in one of my videos, I'm really sorry I can't remember your name, but the big maggot guy that she is cradling in her bed chambers could potentially be Klimt. It would make sense, like he's a pretty big slug man compared to all the other ones, and obviously he served Rosario as a goddess. Maybe that's maybe when it says he left his faith behind him, and he discarded the bidone, maybe that was not by choice. Maybe that because he was transformed by serving Rosario so much that obviously he wasn't able to wield the bidone anymore. That's an interesting point of the lore. Very interesting. And then there's no such thing as an Archdeacon glove, is there? You get the Archdeacon Holy Garb. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one stood over Aldrich's casket with hope that he would return one day. So that was Archdeacon Royce. I think he is mentioned in another item description. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. And then you get Pope hats. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, so there was only 3, sorry, that was my mistake. One cast off his white crown and left the cathedral to stand by Aldrich. So obviously that is MacDonald, and that is who we're standing in front of right now. So we've got MacDonald, who, you know, discarded it, and he, you know, he completely went, no, I am no cleric, obviously, and he just went full-blown sorcery boy. And he discarded his crown and his sort of archdeacon duties, and he came to, you know, lick Aldrich's crusty bunghole. Yeah, and then Royce stood over his coffin, and Klimt continued to serve Rosaria, and maybe got turned into a slugman. Who knows? I'm going to have to look through some item descriptions because I want to find out some stuff about Royce as well. That's quite interesting, actually. We get, like, although the Archdeacons of the Deep are sort of a bit of a nothing gimmicky boss fight, well, not even that, I still quite enjoy fighting the Archdeacons. The Deacons of the Deep, sorry. There's some really tasty lore tidbits in there, and I really resent sort of when people say, oh, well, Dark Souls 3 didn't introduce any new lore. They did absolutely introduce loads of new lore. Obviously, it draws quite heavily on Dark Souls 1 lore, but, like, surely that's what we want. We wanted to have an expanded story and expanded universe for Dark Souls 1 because Dark Souls 1 was great. I mean, they still have quite a lot of lore tidbits from Dark Souls 2 as well. I mean, I know it's not as heavy, but, I mean, in all fairness, Miyazaki didn't write that game, so... Anyway, right. Let's go. What else we got to do? So we've got all the items. I've been around all the other sort of like Titanite shards and soul items. I've already gone and picked up whilst I was running around waiting for invasions. So now we can go up and we can become. We've maxed out our Covenant allegiance with the Aldrich Faithful. So now we can go become a Blade of the Dark Moon. Oh, Nelly. Yeah, boy. Nice. I'm in two minds about whether I should be farming these guys for Concords. I don't know. I've done it once on my very first character that I wanted to collect everything and all the spells and get all the achievements on the Xbox One version. I farmed the Silver Knights, and my God, it wasn't as hard as I imagined. Because I heard terrible stories about people farming for like days and days and getting only a couple of proofs. Fuck off. But I managed to do it in a good... I had to spend a good couple of evenings farming for it, so like maybe a good sort of 6 hours solid farming Silver Knights. But I was expecting to be having to do it for a lot longer. Ooh, doggy. And it's interesting the Silver Knights are still guarding the on Orlando, despite the fact that the Aldrich Faithful are guarding this place as well. So maybe the Silver Knights don't know. Maybe they're sort of the Silver Knights are quite mindless, and all they're doing is continuing with their duty of guarding the ruined cathedral and guarding the goddess Guinevere, who no longer exists. Oh dear, sir. I was about to say let's go and get parrying him, but I can never parry these guys. Huh? Oh, there you go. First time. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not so hard. Yeah. All your rocks. So we've got easy access to large shards now. from the Eastern's Ashes that allows us to buy infinite large shards now. So we can potentially get all our weapons up to +6 if I was so inclined. Oh, fuck. Huh? Nope. Whoopsie daisy. Whoop! Playing with quite low health there. Damn you Silver Knight guys. I'm so disappointed that you can't get the Silver Knight weapons. Maybe that was an original intention of the game, but you know, there's already enough fucking straight swords in the world. Don't need one more. The Silver Knight straight sword was pretty good in Dark Souls 1 from what I remember. Right, okay, alright, we're not getting the Dark Moon Road Covenant just yet. We did go down to the Dark Moon Tomb whilst I was with Amish, but obviously I was too busy having fun, PvPing and doing all that good shit, so we didn't get to sort of discuss the lore significance of this place being here. Oh man, memories. Where is it? Oh, that's prayer. Dark Moon loyalty. Please, Dark Sun Gwendolyn, let me join the Blades of the Dark Moon Covenant. I so wish that you know, having that gesture would have unlocked something. Maybe the whole Blue Eye Orb, who knows. Anyway. Yeah, so we find the Dark Moon Tomb, long since abandoned. We found the brass set, which belonged to the Dark Moon Knightess, one of the coolest fucking NPCs ever. She was so badass. Armour of the Night, once known as the Dark Moon, Yeah, I suppose she was the Dark Moon Knightess. And it's said that the brass armour hides something hideous within, which is very true. She had swarms of humanity writhing beneath her skin. Something about its silhouette suggests femininity. Indeed, she was, in fact, a woman, as well as a firekeeper, and Blade of the Dark Moon, and just all-round cool person. So we find the tomb of Great Lord Gwyn, a ceremonial tomb only, because obviously he wasn't buried here. Still flowers on there, left on his coffin. And we got the the trap ring, reversal ring. Just a gimmick ring, really, just for lore purposes and just a bit of fun. Divine ring granted to the Dark Moon Gwendolyn in his youth. Causes males to perform female actions and vice versa. Gwendolyn was raised like a daughter, though the aura of through the aura of the moon, and was said to behave like a sullen, brooding goddess. So it just affects your walk cycle, basically. So do that, and then you want more femininity. Don't know. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So this is obviously the place where we marry Henri, ceremoniously marry Henri by stabbing her in the face with the sword of a vow, and absorbing her dark sigils, and that's sort of like the final, you know, that seals the deal on you becoming the Lord of Hollows once you've done that. I don't think there's any way that you can fuck up the Lord of Hollows ending unless you actively choose not to, you know, usurp the flame. Yeah, obviously quite significant that they're doing it on top of Lord Gwyn's tomb. That's quite sacrilegious. You know, it doesn't take a brain genius to figure out why they're doing that, because they obviously they're disrespecting the old gods and, you know, committing their hollow atrocities all over Gwyn's tomb. But we have sabotaged all that. We've killed off Uria, and we've killed off the pilgrims that were stalking myself and Henri. So none of that, please, none of that. Right, let's go be a Blade of the Dark Moon. Still waiting to get summoned as a Blue Sentinel. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, it's not unheard of. To be honest, the closer you get to soul level 125, the lower you are, either sort of between soul level 15 to 30, you'll get summoned quite a lot, and above soul level 90, sort of entering meta level, you'll still get a decent amount of action as a blue. But it's sort of at mid levels, almost nothing. Yeah, I missed this completely the first time around. I saw the bonfire, and I was like, how the fuck do you get over there? And it didn't, like, occur to me that there might be an invisible pathway here. So like, you just get a prism stone, you just go, oh, well shit. And I don't think you can walk off the edge, there's invisible walls. And you get such a nice vista here, you can see pretty much the entirety, you can see the entirety of Erythil. This is such a cool area. So we can see the bridge, the approach, and then we get the central Erythil Plaza, the fountain, and the path up where the Pontiff Knights are. And there's that little plaza with the tree and the Erythil Slaves and the Death Gauntlet with all the fire witches. Oh, that's so cool. That's so fucking cool. Yeah, and we go out here and then we're on top of the Church of Yorshka here. So, we go through the Church of Yorshka, Yorshka's church. That's where Creighton invaded us. And that's where we get our bone shard. All the way down that little alleyway. Getting kind of lost now. I suppose we can't see all the way down to the river. So we go through that big building there, along the riverbed. Well, I suppose we can't really see. We sort of emerge. We go through this underground area and we emerge. So there's the shortcut. Yeah, you can kind of see the winding path. That's so cool. That's such cool. Look, you can see it all. It all makes sense. It's not crap. It's great. It's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, you can see the path. That's the house with the slaves in it, and that's the little stairway that goes up. Man, that's so cool. We got Pontiff Cathedral. Fucking cool, man. I love it. I'm sorry, I mean, this isn't going to be a very action-orientated episode, but there's lots of things I wanted to catch up on. Right, Yorshka. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Name thyself, stranger. I am Yorshka, captain of the Dark Moon Knights. What beckoned thee to such a place?
Your sweet bouquet.
Thou thinkst too. Very well. Captain to this knightless company I remain. I will grant thee purpose. Thou'st journeyed far. Hear my voice. If thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall hunt the foes of our lords, then I place thee under the aegis and the power of the Dark Moon.
So, she has been left in charge of the Dark Moon Knights.
Thou art now a blade of the Dark Moon, the only knight of our company. Swear this oath and face thy solemn duty.
I will indeed, Yorshka. Right, so now we are fuck the Blue Sentinels. We're a blade of the motherfucking Dark Moon. A silver pendant depicting the Dark Moon and a sword. The crest of the Dark Moon Knights, the original Blue Sentinels, equipped to pledge oneself to the blade of the Dark Moon Covenant. When a member of the Way of Blue faces a dark spirit, blades of the Dark Moon, by a natured accord, help to root out and gank the invader. Summoning takes place automatically, sometimes, when equipped. I mean, the only reason that the whole Blues don't get summoned meme exists is purely because there's such a massive queue of people wanting to be Blades of the Dark Moon. And so, you know, because there's a massive queue of people waiting to get summoned, a lot of people won't get summoned. Interesting thing I have just noticed, that's a Lothric Knight sword. No, that is definitely a Lothric Knight sword. Whoop, shit. I've got one here, actually. Yeah, because you got the hilt sort of curves up, and it's got that little bit just above the hilt. I've never noticed that before. That is literally, that is not even similar. That is exactly a Lothric, and like even the pommel at the end is the same. Huh. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, if... Oh shit, that's so cool. I've never noticed that before. Obviously, Guinevere is... Well, not obviously, but Guinevere is considered to be the Queen of Lothric at this point. So obviously she'd be bringing her knowledge and craft from Anor Londo, from the old gods, into Lothric. And so it would make sense that the Knights of Lothric would be wielding these kinds of weapons. No fucking way. Obviously, it's slightly different on the Blue Sentinels because that's sort of a filthy derivative Covenant. True Blades of the Dark Moon use Lothric Knight. There you go. If you want to be a Blade of the Dark Moon, use a Lothric Knight sword. Holy shit. There you go. Oh man, I've even got more stuff to talk about with Yorshka as well because she is such an interesting character, and they've sort of reintroduced sort of an extra child. Like they've given Gwyn all these extra sort of, in inverted commas, children in this edition, and I do not think Yorshka is a child of Gwyn. She can't be. She is part dragon, or she is some sort of bastardized hybrid of something. She is not one of Gwyn's children. Because Gwyn's children I would consider to be Guinevere and the Nameless King. And here we go. Here's a lore bomb for you. I do not think Gwyndolin is a child of Gwyn. I think he is a machination of Seath, and I think this because for two reasons. Because he has snakes for fucking legs, like that. No Lord of Sunlight is going to produce someone that fucked up. And also, he's all about sorcery and moonlight. Like, I know his Blade of the Dark Moon is a miracle and stuff, but like he's all about the fucking moonlight. And you know who else was all about moonlight? Seath was all about moonlight. Like, he has to be a creation of Seath, and sort of. I don't have a lot of evidence to back this up with. Obviously, this is just speculation, but it's what I think is that when Seath was granted dukedom after helping Gwyn defeat the ancient dragons, he went about his nasty experiments and doing all this crazy weird shit, creating all these monstrosities, and I think he produced Gwyndolin as some sort of weird dragony hybrid, as well as Priscilla. He also produced Priscilla as well. As part of his experiments, and so Gwyn having to cover up this, these travesties being created, obviously because he owed Seath for helping him fucking become a lord and killing off the dragon, so he couldn't just destroy Seath. So because Priscilla had Life Hunt, they hid her away in the Painted World. They forced her in there, whether by choice, whether she chose to go there or whether she was forced into there, it doesn't really matter. She was placed inside the Painted World to keep her away, because Life Hunt was bad news. Gwyndolin, who was less of a threat, was placed into care of Gwyn, and sort of he was like proclaimed as like, oh, they had a third child. He's a bit fruity and stuff, so it's totally a daughter. It has to be like you can consider him Gwyn's adopted son, and maybe a very unloved adopted son, but he cannot be the Lord of Sunlight's child. Like, I know there were no statues to him in Anor Londo, because that could be that he did not want any statues made of his hideous appearance because he was very frail. Not unlike fucking Lothric, Prince Lothric. Similarities between Gwyndolin and Lothric are quite numerous. But, both frail and pallid. They had those weird long fingernails and hands and stuff. Which, oh god, even more lore. Like, I'll have to talk about the Twin Princes when we get there, because there's so much I want to say about Lothric and Lorien. But anyway, I do not think Gwyndolin is a child of Gwyn, and ergo, I do not think Yorshka is a child of Gwyn. Whoever she is, and where she has come from, I don't know. Maybe another machination of Seath. I mean, she's got a fucking tail, for Christ's sake. But she is not. Maybe she was told by Gwyndolin. Obviously, Gwyndolin seems to be the only person she has had any contact with. So maybe this is all the information she knows is passed on by Gwendolyn, and sort of the lies he was told he's telling her as well. Right, fucking, I could talk forever about this, like seriously. Right, let's go and get the Painting Guardian stuff. And in fact, actually, that again, we could say that maybe Yorshka is something to do with Priscilla, given that we find the Painting Guardian set like in her church. Like maybe she was looked after with Priscilla as well by the Painting Guardians. So we get their curved sword, their shitty curved sword. Weapon described in legends passed down among heretics wielded by the Painting Guardians. A uniquely shaped weapon with a flat tip, and you get to do the whole sort of floaty dance with it. So weapon described in legends passed down amongst heretics. So I think they're talking about the Corvians there, and the heretical storytellers who were telling stories of the painted world to the forlorn souls. Right. And we get the Painting Guardian set. I don't particularly consider this very good fashion, but if you want to do a Painting Guardian cosplay. Attire of the Painting Guardians, whose forms are described in the mythology of heretics. A smooth, pale hood that deters magic. So, good magic defense. Well, not that great. The hunchback teller of ancient tales describe unwanted souls who are unwelcome across the lands. They are eventually drawn into a cold, painted world. The hunchback teller of ancient tales. Are they talking about the Corvian storytellers at that point, or are they referring to a specific person? I'm trying to think of any specific person who's at least related to. Could it be Gale? Has Gale got a hunchback? I don't think he does. I think that's just relating to again the Corvian storytellers, because they got sort of hunchbacks because they're weird half bird, half man creatures. Right, let's get down to the back to the bottom of Church of Yorshka, and here we go. Right, I will meet you back up in Anor Londo, so I'll see you in a moment. Right, sorry, I was going to go down, I forgot we need to continue Yorshka's dialogue. We get a little bit more information from her.
Oh. Good blade of the dark moon, welcome home. If I can provide thee succor, only tell me how.
Provide thee suck. So we can offer our proofs. We've got 7 at the moment. I think I must have gotten summoned a few times. Yes, I did actually. I put on the Blue Sentinels whilst I was doing some farming, and I got summoned. I was soul level 60, and I got summoned into the fucking forest, and it was some guy who was ganking in there, and I just sort of stood around waiting for invaders and for them to get killed by the party, and I was just racking up concords, like doing nothing. So, right, we'll get some more concords, and we will get some of her shit.
Long ago, our father Gwyn, lamenting the waning of the fire, became cinder of his own will. Now, the fire is linked by the champions who have come in his stead. Such is the will of father and the gods. And so the Dark Moon Knights took arms to watch over those who link the fire. But long ago, our company lost its last proper knight. Only its covenant was preserved to this day, until the time of thy visit. Heirdom taketh many forms, indeed.
So they lost. She's been captive of a knightless company for a while, and she said they lost their last proper knight long ago. So that could refer to any number of people. It could refer to the Dark Moon Knightess, which is probably what I think it is. It could even refer to the player character from 1. It could refer to Cirrus, because we can assume that Cirrus, she uses Dark Moon Blade, and she is Cirrus of the Sunless Realm. And she hunts Rosaria's fingers, so maybe Cirrus was a Blade of the Dark Moon, but she abandoned her covenant. That is also a possibility. It's sort of Cirrus is an interesting character, sort of, and how she relates to the old gods and the Blades of the Dark Moon is a very interesting subject.
May I pose thee a question?
Oh yeah.
This tower, this prison, stands tall and solitary. the contraption bridging its lower reaches long unmoving. So, by what path didst thou here ascend? Art thou a creature of the air? Or other winged thing?
So you can basically say, yes, I can fly, or no, I can't fly. No, my dear, I
No,
cannot
of course
fly.
not. Forgive my prying. Think no more on mine asking. I am ashamed to say I know very little of anything.
So she's lived a very isolated life, potentially only in this tower. Maybe she was from the painted world, and she came out and this is sort of the only area of the world she's ever known or seen.
Long ago,
Anyway, yes, very
off so
good.
soon. May the dark moon watch over thee.
Indeed, Yoshka, we will see you again. Right, now I'm going to go to Analondo. See you in a minute. Right, on we go. Just got a couple of things we need to finish up at Analondo, and then we'll call it a day. I know, like I said, it hasn't been a very action-packed episode, but got our lore chops on, talked some good lore, and at the end of the day, that's the good shit. That's what gets me high, baby. Some good lore. Don't need no drugs, don't need no alcohol, just need that lore. That sweet, sweet lore. Oh fucking hell, yes! Yay! Proof of Concord, nice. But today is my lucky day. I have actually had quite a good day today. I had a really good day at work. Nice workout session at the gym afterwards. Felt the burn. All good shit. And now I got my proof of Concord for not even having to try, so hooray. Right, let's go deal with the Red-Eyed Knight, because maybe he'll drop us a Concord. Maybe all my good luck will be condensed into this one day and the rest of my year will be absolutely shite. I'm not going to try and parry this guy, because this guy... Alright. This guy's serious business. There we go. Concord. Oh, boo. Oh, shit. Oh, and I'm getting summoned as a blue. What the fuck is going on today, eh? Jesus. I should have bought a fucking lottery ticket. Right, let's hope the host doesn't DC. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Alright, let's deal with the Pontiff guy. Ow. Oh, no, Pontiff, please. Oh, shit, the lag. The lag is real. Alright. Oh, we're gonna have to gank him. Oh, I'm so sorry, Red. Oh, no! Stop wasting my fucking time. Fucking host bullshit. Well, damn. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't not such my lucky day after all. Okay, the host gets instantly killed by some hotshot with a meme sword into fallen knight armor. I mean, who dies to that? It's 2018, people. Come on. Right, where am I going? Lost my train of thought now. Right, so we get a sign here. Touch sign requesting cooperation. So Henri will summon us into her world. And we can help her with Aldrich and fulfill her duty and her promise to all the children that she left behind. But not before we pour one out for poor old giant bro. He help any time. His hammer is significantly smaller than I remember it. Time for sadness. Yes, indeed. Giant bro. We've already picked it up. We got the giant's coal. I'll give that into Andre later, but... coal used for weapon infusion. It is said that the giant blacksmith of Analondo was once the blacksmith of the gods. Give to the blacksmith in the shrine to allow use of gems of lightning, simple, and chaos infusion. Interesting that he does chaos and simple. Maybe that's just a gameplay consideration to try and sort of spread out the access to some of the infusions. But, you know, gems of lightning, allowing for lightning infusion is, you know, it's not outside the possibilities of the law, given that this is Gwyn's keep. Right. I don't think there's anything else we need to... Oh, there was a few Dark Moon arrows in there actually. I might get them. That would be quite useful if I get the Dark Moon longbow. I've always wanted to use the Dark Moon longbow. I think it looks stylish as shit. And then we'll go and help poor Henri. Moonlight arrow. Right, let's just quickly read that. Oh, shit. Come on. Magical arrows said to have been used by Dark Moon Knights. Imbued with silver light, these arrows inflict magic damage. It is said that long ago, the god of the Dark Moon, Gwendolyn, wielded these arrows and a matching golden bow. Very true. That he did. Okay, Henri. Let's do this. Yeah, I think you can bleed Aldrich, so we'll slap some Carthus Rouge on that.
I thought it might be you. Then I'm afraid Horace. No, this only bolsters my resolve. Please, help me make a man can be.
I will indeed, mate. Right, let's slap some Carthus Rouge on this bitch. Let's carve this guy a new butthole. So he's finally reached the Man-Eater Aldrich. Oh shit, no. Earlier. The one who imprisoned Henri long ago. Tried to eat him. Oh no, please RNG. Please RNG. Fucking... He's one of the easiest of the Lords of Cinder boss fight, but he's also the most fucking frustrating because of that bloody arrow attack. If I had bloody Vow of Silence, you can cheese him like a good one with Vow of Silence. Oh fuck. Come on. Yeah, very good. Oh shit. Stay out of that. Right, so approach this second phase now. Yeah. Oh, please RNG, please. God. Ah, fucking bullshit. And of course we just piece it out. Alrighty. Yep, you do that. Yes, take it all, bitch. Take it all. Please don't do the arrows. Fuck's sake. I wonder if you can knock him out, if you have a big enough weapon, I wonder if you can knock him out of that animation. That'd be quite interesting to do. So he's using... Like he's... Oh shit, no, get out of that. Oh god. Fucking hell, Aldrich. Absolute asshole. Come on, gank him. Do one, Aldrich. So he's using. You saw he was using Bow of the Dark Moon longbow. Sorry, and he was also using Life Hunt Scythe.
Horace, we've done it. We really have.
So we'll pour one out for our good friend Henri. It won't be the last time we see him, but he won't be as upbeat and chirpy as he normally is. So, GG Henri, we'll see you again very soon. Alright guys, I think that's everything I want to do in Gank City and Anor Londo. So next time I see you, we'll be rid of this godforsaken winter wonderland and we'll be off to pastures new. So thank you very much everyone, and I'll see you later.